What's up everyone? Welcome back to my kitchen for another recipe video. So today I'm gonna show you how to make this amazing, vegan-friendly, sweet and smoky barbecue sauce. Straight from scratch using simple ingredients that you probably already have in your house. So last week I did a video where I showed you guys how to make a vegan queso sauce, and I used a store-bought queso for inspiration for that recipe, and I'm going to be doing the same here today because I recently found this barbecue sauce, which, as you can see on the package, it says it is sweetened with dates. So I love that idea, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, hey, I have dates, I wonder what else is in here. So I looked at the rest of the ingredients, and I realized that they're all like really common ingredients. I have them at home, so I figured why not try and make this, and if I could come up with something delicious, share with you guys, which I definitely did. Super happy with this. Couldn't be more excited to share it with you guys. Finding a healthy barbecue sauce in stores is not easy. That's why I was so excited when I found this one. Not sponsored by them or anything. But yeah, if you ever tried to find a good, natural, wholesome, vegan barbecue sauce in stores, it is not easy. Usually they're full of like refined sugars, a lot of high fructose corn syrup in there. In fact, that is usually the #1 ingredient. And then they also have like a bunch of stabilizers and preservatives to make them shelf stable. And sometimes they're not even vegan. Of course, there's gonna be honey in some of them if it's like a honey barbecue. But sometimes you'll even find things like chicken stock or beef stock in them. And yeah, we wanna keep 100% vegan at this household. But not only that, we wanna keep it as healthy as possible. And to find like a natural barbecue sauce is tough, but it's also expensive. So that's kind of the nice thing about this. And another cool thing about this recipe is that you can customize it to make it taste just how you like. So if you want it to be sweeter, we can do that. If you want it to be spicier, more garlicky, more vinegary, more smoky, whatever it is. So it's actually like pretty simple. Let me show you everything that's in here and how to make it, and then I'll give you guys some examples on things that you can put it on. But I mean, who needs examples on what you can put barbecue sauce on? It's pretty self-explanatory. Oh, and as usual, I will put the recipe in the description box down below for you guys to make it easy for you. But since I did you a solid, do me a solid, go and hit that like button. It helps me out so much. Let's get started with this recipe. So here's everything that you need in order to make barbecue sauce. You can see it's really simple, nothing here you've never seen before. I'll tell you what that is over there in just a second. But I should tell you this is going to be a blended sauce, so you will need a blender for this of some type. And I actually had a few people ask me in my last video, Derek, where is your Vitamix? How come you're using the NutriBullet? And the reason is because it's nice, convenient, small, and this was actually given to me by one of you guys, so thank you for that if you're that person. But I just want to show that these things can be made without some like expensive, high-powered blender like a Vitamix. But if you have something like a Vitamix, it'll be great, and you can obviously make it in there as well. Come on. So here's everything you need to make the sauce, and we've got tomato paste. This is essential because I've learned that barbecue sauce is basically just like seasoned and sweetened tomato paste. So you definitely need that. Some apple cider vinegar. Yes, I know it's a massive jug. That's just how we roll around here. Got some mustard. This is actually homemade mustard. If you guys saw that video, I also teach you how to make mustard. Look at that. We've got some blackstrap molasses, liquid smoke, and then the spices. Salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, smoked paprika, some cumin, and then over here. So what we have here are some soaked dates. And the reason why I'm soaking them is because it makes it a lot easier for the blender to blend up, make sauces nice and thick and everything. And if they absorb all the water now, they tend not to like thicken up your sauce a ton after you make it. So if you use like, really dry dates, you make a sauce, eventually it'll soak up all that liquid and you're gonna have to add some more liquid to the sauce. So that's it, nothing weird, nothing freaky here. You guys have seen all these ingredients before, so let me show you how much of each to put in. How's this angle? It's pretty sweet. So first thing I'm gonna do is just strain these dates. We don't need the liquid from them. I guess you could probably use the water. I don't know, is it even sweet? Yeah, I don't know, it doesn't taste like much. So there's the dates all swollen up, soaked with water. Oh, that sounds kind of weird. They look really weird, but they taste really good. What the heck? Yo, 36 years of life and I've never had trouble with this. Why is this happening right now? Oh, they're trying to, oh my gosh. Yo, I was bamboozled. Look at this. They put the label on upside down. Trying to hold me down. Can't hold me down. Figure you out eventually. Get this out of the way too. There's too many things. Okay. So first we're gonna start with the tomato paste. This is like the base of the sauce, so might as well start with it. So I actually have some tomato paste left over here from all the recipe testing that I did for this, so I'm just gonna use this up first. So 6 tablespoons of this. 1, 2. So I think I lost count there. I might have put 7 tablespoons in, but it doesn't really matter. We're not baking or anything like that. It doesn't have to be exact. So, but yeah, like we'll just stick to the recipe. That's 6. And then a half a cup of apple cider vinegar. So I'm gonna put all 4 of these dates in there. If you want it to be sweeter, obviously use more. Try 5 or 6 dates. And if you don't want it as sweet, obviously use less. But I'm going with 4. I found that to be a pretty good amount. And this is 1 tablespoon of mustard. So yeah, if you guys like these recipe videos on how to make your own stuff at home and you haven't seen my mustard video, definitely check it out because it's super easy to make, and like with this, you can customize it. You can make it spicy, not spicy, garlicky, you can make honey mustard. Yeah, it's lots of different ways to make it. I'm gonna put 12 drops of this liquid smoke in here. So if you don't have this or you can't find it, it's obviously not necessary, but it is like such a great smoky flavor. But you could just use more smoked paprika if you can't find any liquid smoke around. So 10 drops, it's really strong, or 12 drops did I say? 12 drops, it's pretty strong, so you don't want to overdo it. But yeah, somewhere around there is a good number. 1, 2, 12, 13, oh my God. And I've got some blackstrap molasses here. So I don't know if you guys have ever tried this, but it's got a really neat, like kind of smoky, deep flavor, a little bit licoricey, but definitely not overpowering. Like if you don't like licorice, I don't know, maybe you won't like this actually, but you don't taste it in here. It just adds like really nice flavor. And if you look at like traditional barbecue sauce recipes, they almost always put blackstrap molasses in there. So I'm just gonna do a teaspoon, but feel free to experiment, use more. So blackstrap molasses, interestingly enough, is a really good source of iron. I don't know if you guys knew that. So next we are moving on to the spices, and this is what really makes it all come together. So these 6 here are sort of the bare necessities you need in order to make delicious barbecue sauce, but you can always add more. I was like thinking as I was making this, I'm like, how good would a curry spice barbecue sauce be? Like, oh my gosh. So if you want, try to add some curry spice to it, try adding, I don't know, whatever else you can think of. But these are the ones I'm adding. So 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 1.5 teaspoons of onion powder. So I'm gonna do a teaspoon of smoked paprika. Usually I would not use a whole teaspoon of smoked paprika in a dish because it would just overpower it. But smoke is the flavor we're going for with this smoky barbecue. And this also isn't like a single serving, right? You're just gonna be using this as a sauce. So you're not gonna be consuming like all this at once. So that's why it's all right to use so much smoked paprika in this. Oh, and if you don't have the smoke drops, this is where you would probably want to add another teaspoon of smoked paprika. I'm gonna add just about, maybe slightly over ½ teaspoon of cumin powder. So I'm gonna add just over ½ teaspoon of cumin powder. Oh, almost forgot to add, man, that would have been tragic. Almost forgot to add the salt and the pepper. So a lot of barbecue sauces have a ton of pepper in them. So it depends if you guys like that or not. I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and it is gonna give it a pretty good kick, but you could go either way from here, a little less or a little bit more. And then the salt. So this is gonna be just up to your own tastes. Of course, you don't have to add any. About ½ teaspoon sort of makes this pretty good. Probably closer to a teaspoon will make it a bit more like store-bought sauce, but I'm gonna start with ½ teaspoon, blend it up, cook it like that, and then if I need to add any more after, that's when I will. But I don't wanna over salt it in the beginning because, yeah, just like liquid, you can't take salt away from a recipe very easily. Oh, speaking of liquid, I almost forgot that too. So next we have to add some water in order to make it blend. So that was 1/3 of a cup of water. So at this point, we're ready to blend. So here it is all done, and you guys can see it's nice and thick. The color is good. It looks like barbecue sauce, but does it taste like barbecue sauce? Let's find out. Wow, yeah, it does. It's super good. Dang. So, it's amazing. And you could eat it just like this. You can see the consistency's good, the flavor's good, everything's great. But if you want to make it even tastier, what you do is you cook it for a little while. Traditionally, barbecue sauces, they're like simmered for a little while after, you know, they're all made like this. And that's what we're gonna do here. So the way I designed this recipe is that you can have it like this if you want. However, next we're gonna add some more water so that we can cook it for 15 minutes or so. Some of that water is going to evaporate, but it's also gonna concentrate the flavors, and it's gonna be even better after that. So I'm gonna cook it on the stovetop for about 15 minutes, and that requires about 1/4 cup of additional water. So I'm gonna add that to this. However, if you wanna cook it for longer and see like how much flavor you could bring out of this, just add more water, or even when it's cooking, if you notice it starts to dry up, just like keep adding a little bit more water to it, and yeah, it should be fine like that. Man, these little blenders are so convenient. I love them. So now all we have to do is to simmer it. So on super low for about 15 minutes is just perfect. All right, so here it is. Just finished simmering for about 15 or 20 minutes. It smells absolutely amazing in this house. So let me give it a try, let you guys know how it is. Oh man, woo! It's so good. Man, that is definitely barbecue sauce. The balance of flavors is so good. Like, it has just like the perfect amount of sweetness, spice, smokiness, and just a bit of acidity from like the, you know, the apple cider vinegar and everything. Man, it is amazing. I really think you guys are gonna like this. So what I did was actually put one in the fridge yesterday from the final batch that I made, because it gets so much better once all the flavors kind of settle and it has time to like meld and everything like that. So definitely, you know, understand it will get better the next day, and it actually tastes really good cold as well. So here's the one from yesterday, and this is about how much it makes. So it's probably just over a cup or so. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it definitely changes once you've had it in the fridge overnight. The flavors mellow out a lot, but still like a lot of really good flavor in there. So let me try the store-bought one and just kind of see. It's not gonna work. I use like 100 spoons every time I make a recipe, and it drives Crystal nuts. Anyways, so let's try the store-bought one and see how mine compares. Yeah, actually, you know what? It's good, but I do like mine better. This one has more of like a Worcestershire sauce taste to it, which you can add to barbecue sauces. That is like a traditional ingredient in there, but I wanted to try and keep this as simple as possible for you guys, and I actually kind of like it without. So, and I don't think they have Worcestershire. There's so many different ways that you can use barbecue sauce, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you guys all the things that you can put it on, but I actually have a few videos on my channel here where I used a store-bought barbecue sauce before I know how to make this for it. So if you guys are interested, check out my video where I show how to make barbecue pulled jackfruit tacos, because that is such an amazing recipe, really, really easy. And then also barbecued tofu. I can do this better. Okay. All right. So you guys can just use this as you would any other barbecue sauce, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you all the different ways that you can use it or recommend any, but I do actually have a few videos on my channel where I used a store-bought barbecue sauce for the recipe, because I didn't know how to make this then, but now I'm thinking, hey, I should probably go back and remake those with my own barbecue sauce. So one of my favorites is the barbecue pulled jackfruit tacos. So amazing, really simple to make, and super satisfying. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll put the link in the description box down below. Definitely, yeah, pulled jackfruit tacos, so good. You could also marinate tofu with it, and I did that in a really recent video actually. I showed you guys how I do a quick marinade with my tofu and then baked it with the barbecue sauce on it. It was incredible. So there's another suggestion for you guys. And of course, the classic, putting it on top of your burger or on your burger bun. One of my favorite ways to have barbecue sauce. So I think that's probably it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. And if you do make this barbecue sauce, you know I love when you tag me on Instagram at Simnett Nutrition so I can see your creations. You guys have been tagging me so much lately with like the lasagna I made a while ago. That was Crystal's recipe actually. And the queso sauce, the barbecued tofu. I absolutely love seeing it, and thank you so much for sharing and tagging me. So definitely hit the like button if you like the video, subscribe so you can see more from me, and let me know your comments down below. What else would you add to this? Do you think like the curry barbecue sauce would be good? Let me know what flavors you guys think would be good in here. I'll see you soon with another video. Bye. I'm just gonna eat this with a spoon. No joke. It's like soup. It's just tomato soup. No big deal.